You know that you found your company.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Psychedelic here. I'm hitting you back up today with all of my finds from my Des Moines trip, as well as a couple online finds I got before the trip. If you guys missed my live stream, I shared them all on there, but I just figured I'd come back on camera and just talk about them a little more since I've listened to them a little bit, and I haven't heard all of them yet, but I've got a pretty good idea of what they're about. I'll just kind of be a little insightful on some of the ones that I am aware of now. I'm probably going to leave out the private press stuff. If you guys remember, I shared a lot of those Christian private records I found. I'll probably show them in the next video. This one I just kind of wanted to, go a little more in depth with the ones that are a little more well known and might be mostly of interest here. So we're going to start with the two online finds I got a while back. With this one, I picked up on, it's kind of one of those albums you find really cheap. I was a little familiar with it because of the cover. I've seen it online a few times, and I just thought, give it a few listens in my car, and I was kind of like pretty surprised at how good this was. And this is Smubs. This is The End of the Night, and it's on the Monument label. If I can get a shot of it. Yeah. There's only two records, primarily psychedelic or garage related, on this label. This band and the Hangmen. Just didn't really find too many albums like this on that label. That kind of ventured off a little bit. But this is a pretty decent cheapie, I would say. It's nothing like super mind blowing or anything like that, but it definitely has its moments. It's very mixed bag of material. Some of it works, some really does not. Opens up with a blues number that's, not very exciting. But it has, some good harmonies working for it. My favorite track's probably primarily on side 2. I Remember Sunday and White Paper Sail is where they get kind of trippy on a little bit. It kind of reminds me of H.P. Lovecraft in a way. And The Running Water is a great kind of mellow closing track. This band, to me it just sounds like they couldn't really nail a style down. This is their one attempt at their achievement to fame, but really didn't pull off, I don't think, and could have been a lot stronger in a lot of ways. But I mean, they kind of really sound, what they look like, just a bunch of hippies trying to make it, and it's kind of an ugly cover art, really. Just all these photographs kind of pasted on a somewhat beautiful artwork in the background. But yeah, Smubs, it's interesting, but it's always $10 and under all day long. So you guys looking into some cheapies, it's one to check out. Not sure if it's going to stay in the collection very long, but we'll see. On the other hand, this one I've been after quite a while. This is like one of the first items I ever put on my Discogs want list, and could never find a copy under $30. Finally just bit the bullet and found this on eBay. It was used for about $30, and I just said, what the heck, I've been wanting this forever. And the reissues in the US just never pop up. They always seem to be overseas in Europe or something. And picked up on I guess you could say, legit reissue of Spirits and Worm. It's their self-titled album. Or no, is it? Yeah, it's self-titled. This is a Karma reissue. There is one other reissue from the 90s, but I'm not sure about its sound quality. Otherwise, the sound quality on this is fantastic. I was really very pleased about it. I would say the bass is a little heavy. Otherwise, it's got great clarity in the pressing. So this is one, if you guys don't know the story, this was originally released on A&M label, and it got maybe shelved for one day and then just taken right off the shelves because supposedly the people behind the label thought maybe there was some, sort of occult meaning behind the image here with the two goats on the tombstone, which is really ridiculous. It just, maybe it's because the people behind A&M had some sort of like things going behind the business, if you know what I'm saying, as far as their religion or something. But yeah, otherwise, regardless of all that, the music is just killer. This is fantastic, kind of West Coast flavored, even though they were from Long Island. It's very much in the sunshine pop realm, but it's got amazing fuzz leads on some tracks and nice psych effects working for it. Some of my favorite tracks like She, the title track, and She's the One, I think is the other one. She's the One has male harmonies, but it's mostly both shared between the male and female harmonies on this one. It's just excellent. It's kind of in the same realm as like The Art of Lovin', The Growing Concern, sort of Jefferson Airplane-esque, but very good. A little bit of Spanky and Our Gang in the harmonies, but that fuzz lead and some of the percussive work is very tight on this record. It's just the stuff I'm looking for, it's the stuff I live for. Shot the label there. I don't have too many Karma reissues, actually. I think I only have one other one. The Mariani one. That's got some great sound quality as well. So those are the two online finds, and then I decided to take a trip. I kind of had it planned a month ago to take a trip to Des Moines, Iowa, in Cosmic Brian's land, We didn't meet up or anything, but I did tell him on his video that I was going to take a trip there. Never been there before, and so I just decided, it was quite a lengthy drive, but lots of construction on the interstate, and the whole day. I mean, I spent the night there, and the whole day Friday I was just go go go. I hit like 5 record stores, and then before that I even hit like 2 antique shops. So it was just an all-day running event, and then I still got back home that Friday evening. But I wouldn't say it was like the best scores ever made, but it was definitely had some records that I did find, and so happy to cross off. And I'm going to show these in the order that I found them. So I did find a lot of records at one of the antique shops, Collectomania, and that was a lot of the Christian private records, which I'll share perhaps next video, because there's just a lot of them that I found. I mean, it's a big bulk, and a lot of them I took chances on. Some I was going to talk about, and some I haven't listened to yet, so I'm going to wait on those. But so all these I'm sharing are from the record shops there, and in the order which I found them and got them. So the first one I hit up was ZZZ Records, or Z Records, wherever it's how you pronounce it. This is the first one I picked up in the new arrival section, and this is Alive and Kickin', and this is always one that you can find about $10 and under all day as well on the Roulette label. This is one I've always known about, and I kind of heard a reputation of it, kind of having some hard rock leanings. Stupid dogs out there. Anyways, Roulette label, and Tommy James actually produced this one. This is their one album. They had a hit with Tighter Tighter, as you can see on the hype stickers there. I think Tommy James actually wrote that track as well. Yeah, with Bob King. And it's kind of a ripoff of like Piece of My Heart by Janis Joplin, really. It uses some of those word plays. But my favorite tracks are Junction Creek. It's actually, the longer jams are really cool off here. Kentucky Fire, Mississippi Mud, and Hitter Man. Features some fuzz wah and fuzz guitar. Not a whole lot, but it's definitely present in there. And it has like this kind of hard rock appeal, while also using these like soul tendencies in the vocals. So it's another one that's just decent, but could have been a lot better as well, I feel. I actually had the single, and I think, it sold a lot of copies back then. I don't know where that single's at now, but yeah, I think the album sold a lot of copies too. That's why it's so, why it pops up a lot. So just took a chance on that. But the next find I was really very pleased to find. This is one I've been after for years as well. And found this well below its value. You just don't see this sort of thing in the wild or even online. I think, the 5 years or so I've been in the VC, I could just tell this album was just on the rise ever since I knew about it. And this is Jan and Lorraine, Gypsy People. Just look at that artwork. It's a very, it just captures the eye as soon as you see it. This is a very mysterious album in all actuality. People don't know. I mean, some people say they're from Detroit, but there's also like this Canadian connection with, because they cover a couple of Perth County conspiracy tracks on here, the opening and closing track. Break out the wine and don't you feel fine. But the fact that this album was also recorded in the UK in London, so it just kind of makes you wonder, like, what's the whole connection there with American people using Canadian tracks recorded in London. It's just a weird connection there. And it features a lot of backing input from British musicians, most notably Pentangle's drummer, person that played with Al Stewart, and someone else came to mind when I was looking this up. But yeah, this is incredible stuff. I've never heard one bad review about this album. It's on ABC label. I mean, the artwork does live up to its reputation, to its hype. This is very laid back, mostly mellow psych folk with a little bit of progressive and experimental leanings. They do kind of jam out on a couple tracks. Gypsy People, but also the assignment song Sequence. And even the track number 33, which is like a minute or so track, is just brilliant. And it's just, it's very memorable pieces off this record. So I really enjoyed this one and got this for a very great price. Couldn't have asked for a better deal. Jan and Lorraine. So if there's one album to take away from this one, if you haven't heard it, it is definitely worth your time. But the find of the day, this was probably the one that takes the cake right here. This is also one that I can still remember. I added this to my want list on Discogs very early when I first got my account, and I still remember it. And ever since it's been on my want list, I could never find a copy under $30 and in VG Plus or near mint shape ever. And finally, in person, this is like the cleanest copy I could ask for, right at $30. And I found Rex Homan here in the Land of Victory. So, what label is this on? Pentagram or? Yeah, Pentagram label. And this is a crispy clean copy. The only downside is that it is a unipack and it is unglued. So, hope to get that glued sometime soon. So Rex Homan, he was pretty much better known for being a TV actor. Played in episodes of like Rawhide and Star Trek, and I think he reprised a role in Star Trek in one of the films later on. And this guy was like 40 years old when he made this record, and there's a lot of mysterious circumstances behind this album too. No one knows a lot of details except that he just kind of took on this album project out of nowhere, perhaps to make money off of it or something. But this is fantastic progressive folk psych. It features a lot of like tabla, sitar, lots of chimes and stuff going on. And it's mostly, the takeaway from this is his heavy vibrato voice that he acquires. for the sound of this album. It's very memorable once you listen to it, and so there really is no weak tracks. There's a couple tracks I think that have saxophone, but overall this is a very nice vibe, going for it. It's a very mysterious cover too. I can tell it looks like two images crossed together, but it looks like there's more, but I don't think there is. It doesn't really catch the eye, so that's probably why it didn't make any sales, Who knows? Shot of the label. And this plays about VG+. It said on the sticker when I bought it that it has some ticking and popping, but I didn't hear anything. It was a very, very nice, pleasurable listen. And then this one I picked up at the same place. I didn't even mention the place. So I picked up Rex Homan and this record at the same store, a place called Rogue Planet Music, and that was probably my favorite. That was probably my favorite stop of the day. These guys, the two guys that run the shop, they know what they're selling in this place. They got a lot of private records, and kind of describe them, and they also played a few things in the store for me I didn't know about. A couple things I discovered. There's a private record called Home Brew. It's kind of like a loungy. I didn't hear any psych influences, but the cover definitely, stood out as psychedelic to me. There's also a folk duo album called Tom and Lincoln. Came out in 1970 maybe. It sounded pretty nice. I didn't pick up on it, but I've never seen that in my searches before. But however, and they had a lot of stuff I already had, like Summerhill, Peanut Butter Conspiracy. Had a lot of great stuff up my alley, and that's why I loved them. But I picked this one up because I think I've seen this in person one other time at the Omaha Record Show, but it was probably out of my price range. This is Old Paint. This is on the GWP label, and it must have been owned by a radio station in Ames, Iowa. That's probably what it is. It's a promotional copy. This one I got to dive back into. The only time I played this was on my live stream, and before that I played this a few times in my car, I think, and at work. And I very much remember it being kind of power poppy with a little bit of country rock flavor, which who would have thought those two go together, and a little bit of psych pop in the mix, intertwined. So this is one I got to just kind of listen to again, and usually when I post them online and make a review, that's usually when I'm listening to it. So I have yet to post this one. And this is a very, very warpy sort of vinyl, like the Dynaflex. It's very thin, but it produced great sound. So can't really tell you much on the backstory, except I do remember this being very good. So check out Old Paint. Okay, and then there was a couple other places I stopped at, like Jay's CD and Rat's Underground Music, but they kind of specialized in a lot of metal and punk rock, which, of course, you're looking at psychedelic, man. Not that I don't dig that stuff, but not a whole lot up my alley. It just kind of is targeted towards a different audience, I thought. So I didn't find much there. And some stuff I already had. I found Chrysalis at the first one. But the last stop of the day was I think it's a new place. I know they opened up a new shop in Omaha, and they're kind of associated together, called Vinyl Cup. And it was a place I had to walk up these stairs, and it looked like a very nice place. And I think I could stop back at this place too. I kind of like their setup. Every time I would flip through all these different rows, I would find something unique, and it was all in clean shape too. You just never knew what you were going to find as you kept digging along, and I like that sometimes, instead of just alphabetical, makes you want to dig even more. So this is the first one I picked out. This is Sinara. It's in the Shrink on Capitol. This one I got to listen to again. I do remember liking this on the live stream, and I was familiar with their cover of Stoned Is. And maybe it's not a popular opinion, but in my opinion, I think this version of Stoned is a little better. It's a little more, it's got a little better tempo maybe and a little more organized rather than Listening's version, which they're probably a little stoned on that cut. But I heard the rest of it's kind of like jazz oriented, so we'll have to return to that one. It's on the Grain Capital label. This is the only one I have not spun yet, and don't know if this is going to be up my alley or not. I have a feeling it's probably not going to be, but I see this online all the time. You know, when it's associated like with the West Coast stuff. I'm not sure if they're from the West Coast or not, but I just see this pop up a lot of the time. And this is Copperhead. It's on the Columbia label, and the reason I picked this up is because of John Cipollina's contribution, who, you know, of course played in Quicksilver Messenger Service. But I also read online this is kind of more like boogie hard rock, so not really my cup of tea, but we shall see. If it rocks out hard enough, I might keep this, but we shall see. I kind of like this front image, though. It kind of looks like it's a cutout from like a horror film or something, like the widescreen going on. I don't know. That's what came to mind to me. And then finally, the last one I found, and I found a lot of great stuff at a store, you know, a lot of stuff I left behind. And I found probably the most cleanest copy of It's a Beautiful Day, their first album. And you know that album gets trashed when you see it in record shops, you know. And this is probably the most beautiful copy I've seen of it without ring wear or anything. I imagine that's probably one hard one to find in the shrink wrap. But this is one I picked up on primarily because the disc was just so clean, I couldn't leave it. This is Beach Boys, Surf's Up, and this is one I've been kind of wanting. Unfortunately, it's got a rip here. That's how I found it. Just had a price sticker or something. Despite that, the disc is just spotless. It is just purely clean. So Surf's Up, it's kind of a fairly familiar album to me, or just starting to get familiar with it. Also comes with the lyric insert. I don't know how scarce these might be, but it's still cool to own. It's in the original paper sleeve as well. So this is when they picked up on a new manager, Jack Riley, and I mean, just look how that shines too. It's just beautiful. It's kind of when they were, I think, what was their previous album, Sunflower? It's when a lot of fans, you know, it didn't rank very high in the charts. And at this time, you know, they were kind of recording a lot of material and kind of spliced this all together, and this is the outcome. And just by looking at the cover art, you know, it doesn't look very pleasing. I think that's the artwork of End of the Trail. Is that right? And, you know, with the album title like Surf's Up, a lot of people might expect, you know, it's going kind of like a throwback to their old material, which it is not. It's definitely their new material. This album, they get very socially aware of like things going on in the world, like climate change, and you know, the first song's called "Don't Go Near the Water" by the Beach Boys, you know. And you got tracks like Disney Girls, which is a big favorite. If there's one track that really sucks on here, is the one after it, Student Demonstration Time, which I think relates to, at the time, Kent State shooting. My favorite track's Feel Flows, which I totally forgot was at the end of Almost Famous. I haven't seen that movie in forever. Otherwise, you know, it's pretty good. I still gotta familiarize myself a little bit, but it's definitely an album that kind of just got spliced together fairly quickly, I think, and could have used maybe different song choices because they had recorded a lot of tracks up to this point, so like a reprise to Wouldn't It Be Nice, I think they did. So very nice. I got a great price on this too, and his prices were very, very negotiable. So with that said, hope you guys enjoyed. I should have another video down the road. I think I only have one other record coming in the mail, and There's one I pre-ordered months back, probably like April, when it was on pre-order, of Kennelmas. It's on the Bandcamp, and not sure. It said it every time I check. It seems like the release date is later. I don't know if they keep changing it or not, but I think I saw someone receive their copy already. So I'm kind of like, "Where's mine?" You know, because this guy lives overseas. So yeah, that's all I got for today, and let me know what you guys think of my finds. And that about does it. So take care, and we'll see you soon.